This episode is brought to you by our patrons. Thank you so much for being a patron. And if you're not one and you'd like to become a patron, just jump on over to patreon.com/LunchTimeTechTalk. Now, on with our show. Yo, Chad, my mountain biking buddy.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, so we'll just jump right into the weekend topic for the two of us. We both crushed the mountain bike riding this weekend.
Heck yeah, we did.
25 miles at our local long time trail, I would say. It's probably the oldest trail.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah.
It's old.
So we did that. That was super fun, like 4.5 hours of actual ride time. And we conquered it really well. I felt like we did really good.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, given that a month and a half ago, we were good to go out and maybe do like 6 miles.
Isn't that crazy? It's like, I don't know. I know that feeling of when 6, 7, or 10 miles like hurt. And we literally went out and did 4.5 hours of mountain bike riding.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Between 25 and 28 miles, but depending on whose watch you trudge. Like, it's a long way.
Yes, it is a long way. The other thing I did was Saturday, I was at a volleyball tournament all day. So that was fun. My daughter played really well. The team did really, really good. So that was a good time. But those were the two major things I did. Did you do anything else other than mountain biking?
I smoked a pork loin and I mowed my yard. And when I was mowing my yard, there were parts of it that were still kind of green and kind of like needing cut. But most of it was just kind of like, hey, it's fall. This is probably the last time you're going to have to do this. So I'm, here October 6th, I'm looking forward to maybe having mowed my yard for the last time this year. It seems like we mow later and later into the year every year, and maybe that's just me getting old and not wanting to do it anymore.
Yeah, I feel ya. There's times that I think I mowed in early December, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing?
I think that's true also.
But no, I'm with you. I feel like that is the truth. Like, I remember a point where you got close to Halloween and we weren't mowing anymore because there was a potential for snow in November, like years ago. But now it's like, it may not snow all year. And I mean, we might be mowing in December.
That's the weirdest thing about whatever you want to call it. Like, it used to snow where we live. Yeah. And like, we used to get good snows. We used to get sleddable good snows. And now it like ices sometimes and doesn't really snow, and it bums me out.
Yeah, it's weird. It is definitely weird. I mean, I feel like maybe by the end of our lifetime, we will have a beach near Springfield, Missouri.
Maybe, the way things are going.
Uh-huh. So this week is kind of a weird week. We're in limbo between the two Apple events, the one that's not announced and the one that actually happened. So I want to kind of talk about when we might see the next Apple event. And I also wanted to talk about a change to the Apple Watch, WatchOS 7, that really they didn't say anything about. It was really kind of low key, and this surprises me because this is a pretty significant change to how you can use the watch. What did you have?
I have another iOS 14 thing I found, and a Google ad I saw during last night's football game.
Okay. All right. Well, those sound fun. Let's get into it.
Let's do it, man. Welcome back to Lunchtime Tech Talk. I'm Chad.
And I'm Mike. I'm going to go first with the Apple event stuff because there's really not any news, but all the rumor places are saying that the Apple iPhone event invitations are supposed to drop today or first thing tomorrow. So we will more than likely see before this actually gets put out there for you guys to listen to that the Apple event is supposed to happen next week. So whenever you guys listen to this, you will probably already know whether or not it is next week or in 2 weeks or whenever it is. But the rumor has it that the invitations are supposed to drop any minute or any day. So that's kind of exciting. I am super, super pumped about this iPhone 12. And I'm also
Hey,
excited. Yeah.
45 seconds ago, AppleInsider.com tweeted Apple has revealed it will be holding its high speed special event on October 13th.
Did they really?
Yes, 45 seconds ago.
Okay, there you go. That's like breaking news. So it sounds
Yeah,
like it's official on the 13th. What else are they saying?
it's called high speed and it's stylized like high, comma, speed. Like,
Uh-huh.
hello. Anticipated feature of the iPhone 12 as well as other products like AirTags.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I
So
think
that
what do you read into the high speed? I read into it as 5G and super fast processors.
yeah, it's I don't know. I like the play on it because it's like, hello, speed, nice to meet you, but also like high speed. High speed stuff's coming your way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this is exciting. Like literally breaking news with I started talking about it. Maybe that's what made them start typing that up. I don't know, Chad.
maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
But yeah, you said something about it, and so I was like, well, I'll just go out and see what I can find. And sure enough, right there,
There it is. Nice.
top of the
Very,
thing.
very, very cool. Yeah, there's a guy that I follow on YouTube who has been really, really accurate on his reporting. And he was saying just this morning, he's like that we're gonna see them any minute. And he was kind of surprised that he hadn't already saw them like first thing in the morning. But the reality of it is, like right now, it's like 9 o'clock at in California. So
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's 11,
It's
11
it's
o'clock where we're at. So, like, at 6 or 7 in the morning, it would have been way too
it
early
was the
for that.
middle of the night. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really cool. So there we go. The 13th is. It sounds like that's when it's going to be. So I'll let you go with your next thing. What is this thing you found in iOS 14?
Okay, so do you use like the bedtime functionality for your alarm clock at
I
all?
don't, but I really want to because the alarm sounds are so much better.
The alarm sounds are so much better. I like that I can also set kind of like, so let's say I want to get 7.5 hours of sleep every night. Like I can set what time I want to wake up but I can also set what time I want to go to bed.
Uh-huh.
And then it gives you an option of like an amount of warning time leading up to your bedtime. So I have it set for 45 minutes. So 45 minutes before I should be in bed trying to fall asleep, I get an alert that says, "Hey, it's like it's time for bed, bro." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I've still got stuff to do, so not tonight." Or, "Oh, okay, if I want to get the sleep that I want to get, like I got to go to bed now." But they updated it recently. So I used to have like my bedtime thing, and then I would also have like two or three different alarms that I could set for the weekend stuff because I don't want to turn the bedtime stuff on and off or mess with it too much because I forget, right?
Uh-huh.
And so now when you go into the bedtime part of the alarm clock, at the very top it says like it has an option for next wake up only.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when you and I were going to go ride early Sunday morning, I went in there to just set a regular alarm, but I saw that I could just change what I wanted for the next wake up,
Uh-huh.
and I did that, and I still got my normal alarm clock sound instead
Yeah.
of getting something different, which I think is also part of the reason why I oversleep sometimes because it's like it's not my sound, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And so I think I ignore it a little bit, but then after you wake up, like it goes right back to your normal schedule. And
Nice.
it's so awesome. Like
That's,
it sounds dumb, but like that's just a little thing that is it's such a big deal to me
yeah.
because
Well,
I don't
it,
have to click edit and go into a different alarm clock with a different sound, like a sound that I literally can't get outside of the bedtime
yeah,
part
so
of the
weird.
app.
So weird that you can't. But
Yeah. So anyway, it's awesome.
very cool. Very, very cool. Um, well, did you know that the Apple Watch now has sleep tracking and it integrates with that bedtime app feature?
I knew that it had sleep tracking. I
Yeah,
did not know
so
that it integrated.
that's new with watchOS 7 and the iOS 14. They integrated that with the Apple Watch. So whenever you get your Apple Watch, you may be able to use that even more in depth than what you are right now with just your phone.
Well, my Apple Watch is still processing,
Oh,
and it's supposed to be here in 10 to 19 days, 10 to 16 days. But alas, I'm starting to get bummed out. Like I really thought maybe, just maybe it would come in September,
yeah.
but you know,
It'll be here before you know it. I just hope that it arrives before the BT Epic trip, so
I
you
do
can
too
have
because
that on the trip.
as it stands, it's supposed to show up the day of. Like we would have left on Friday and it's supposed to show up on Saturday.
Oh, well, you'll have something to look forward to whenever you come back. You'll be like, "Hurry up, Mike! Let's go faster."
Yeah.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about was on the Apple Watch. You know this because you've seen my watch, and you've also your wife just recently got a watch, and so you kind of know that there's three rings. There's a stand ring, which I believe is blue, but to me it looks white. So weird. Um, and then there's a middle one, which is like activity minutes, like exercise minutes. And then there's an outer one, which is like they call it like active. It's like active calories is basically what it is.
Yes.
And you've always been able to change since the very first Apple Watch. You've always been able to change that active calorie ring to what suited you most. So if you're super active, you may want that at 750. Or if you're semi active, maybe you want it at 500. Or if you're just getting into trying to trying to meet your goals, maybe you want it at 300. So everybody can kind of customize that how they want, but you've always been set on the exercise minutes has always been 30 minutes, and the number of stands per day has always been 12.
Yeah.
And you've never been able to change that. Well, on watchOS 7, they now allow you to modify all the rings. So you can
Oh.
change the active calorie ring, the outer ring, the same way you've always been able to. The inner ring, the exercise minutes, you can change all the way down to 5 minutes, and you can do it in basically like 5 minute increments up to 60 minutes.
Okay.
Then you can also do the stands. You can change those down to 6 stands as the minimum that you can go down to. I don't know if you can go over 12. That would be kind of silly because that would just be trying to force you to stay up longer. And that kind of seems like the opposite of what Apple is pushing for, especially with this new sleep tracking feature and the bedtime app feature that you just talked about. That
Yeah.
sleep is extremely important for recovery whenever you're doing anything with fitness. And I
For
could just
sure.
see if you could go over 12, somebody be like, yeah, I do like 18 stands a day, bro. It's like, no, not good for you.
When do you sleep?
Yeah, oh, I don't need to sleep. Sleep when I'm dead. That's my bro voice.
Such a bro.
But yeah, super cool. You can change all the rings. So whenever you get your watch, you can kind of set it to what you feel like is suitable for you. I do feel like the 30-minute goal is achievable to everybody, but you have to put a little effort in. Um, and the 12 stands is always good. But it's nice that they let you customize it now. I probably won't change mine, but it's definitely a cool feature to be able to go in there and modify all the rings instead of just that one ring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what else
that
did
is
you
cool.
have? You had something with an advertisement during a football game?
Not a football game, a North American football game.
Oh, okay, okay. What's that?
I do watch European football, but
Oh, okay.
this happened to be the Chiefs game Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
I saw so Google had an event last week that we didn't cover because we're Apple boys,
Yeah.
and but they finally released their version of the Fire Stick and Apple TV.
Uh-huh.
It's called Google TV, so super clever name.
Yeah.
It does the same thing that Apple TV does. Like it gives you access to all of your different apps that you would use. So like if you have HBO Max or you have YouTube that you pay for or Netflix or whatever else, like and it also can control your actual cable box. So
Yeah.
like it's kind of your one place to scroll for everything. It does have integration with like the Ring video doorbell stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
like you can pull up your front door camera on your TV. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. It honestly when I was watching it, I thought I was watching a commercial for Apple TV. And then it popped up at the end and it was like, new from Google TV. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Because, it's talking about going from Game of Thrones to The Game, which, is going from HBO Max to Fox Sports 1 or
Right.
whatever. And so
Yeah.
it honestly, even scrolling through their website right now while I'm talking, like it just feels like an Apple website. Like you're scroll locked and it's showing you all the different things. Like, I don't know. It's an Apple TV, but it's from Google.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of I've heard a little bit about this, and they did say that most people say that same thing where they're like, it's pretty much just like an Apple TV. Even like the UI and stuff. I haven't actually seen the UI myself, but they're like, it's pretty close. There's some integration that they have that Apple doesn't have, but it, what's really weird about the Apple TV, Chad, is that there's a lot of people that complain about parts of the Apple TV. One, the price; two, the Siri remote, and but yet anybody that I know that has one, like, and they try to go back to a different brand, they they love the Apple TV because it's so fast. Like
Yeah.
you don't see a spinny wheel or any of that stuff. They put a really good processor in it. Rumor has it they're going to come out with another one with an even faster processor in it, and it's probably just in time for this Google TV thing. So it's
Right.
I like these really high quality set top boxes because I'm not a fan of smart TVs just because generally the processor is what it is in a smart TV, and it's normally not a high end processor, and so you're limited as to what you can do. Where with these devices, like the Google TV and the Apple TV, they have the potential to run things like the Stadia, the game streaming app that Google came out with. You can run Apple Arcade. There's that new gaming streaming thing that Amazon's coming out with, I think Luma or something. But they've got the power in it to do things like that. So therefore, they've got the power in it to run like more complex apps if something neat comes out in the future. So I'm a big fan of these set top boxes coming out from all
So
different companies because they just keep pushing each other.
I will say, this is not a set top box in the same way that Apple TV is. This is a dongle that the main part of it that hangs down is about the same size as like an iPod's Pro case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not. I mean, uh, it's not as big as the Apple TV.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not just as powerful, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the
It wouldn't surprise me if Apple comes out with a stick style device to get into these markets where people are just wanting to stream TV shows instead of doing
yeah,
gaming or stuff like that.
yeah,
But
yeah, because this is only $50 too.
that's a huge thing, is that the price is so cheap on that device.
Yeah,
But well, that's cool. Yeah, it's nice to see all these different things come out. Google will come out with the same thing next year, but they will call it something different, and then they will cancel this one.
right.
Per Google's usual. Oh man.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. We've got this new thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's all the topics we have for this week. Like we said at the top of the show, there's not really a lot going on yet, but it sounds like there will be next week. And I'm ready for some crazy tech. I don't know if you've got a crazy tech, but I'm ready for a crazy tech.
I got crazy tech, amazing tech inside my DNA. Phone comes in two piece, you fold that screen inside my DNA. I got power cords and USBs inside my DNA. I got hustle though and 5G flows inside my DNA. Whoop, whoop.
All right, so we're gonna go with your crazy tech is the Google TV.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. There's been many a weeks where I have not had a crazy tech, and you have. So you are still in the okay on the free crazy tech week. Um, I wanted to ask you, Chad. Did you know that Tesla, the Model Y, is now available in a convertible?
I did not. I'm literally Googling it because I just pulled up the notes to see what you were going to talk about.
So they didn't intend for this to happen, but they unintentionally made a convertible on a owner of a Tesla Model Y. So this
Oh
owner was
no.
driving down the highway and thought that a window was open and went to go roll up the windows, and the windows were already open, and then the next thing you know, the entire top glass roof rips off going down the highway. They didn't use enough glue, I guess.
Whoa. I guess. Holy cow.
So that is like the latest Tesla thing. I mean, there have been several things over the years, but to have your entire roof rip off, that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
a huge
crazy.
deal, for one, for the driver, and two, for the people behind the driver. So it's, oh
Yeah, it says
man.
luckily no one was hurt when it flew off.
I
But
I
oh my
assume it's
gosh.
shattered when it hit the ground. I mean,
Well, sure, but it had to fly off in one piece probably first.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you can get a Tesla Model Y, and you may get the convertible option, and that's kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh. So the tweet says, because of course this was all reported via Twitter.
Uh-huh.
It says, "Hey, at Elon Musk, why didn't you tell us that Tesla sells convertibles now? Because the roof of our brand new Model Y just fell off on the highway,
Oh my God.
October 5th, 2020."
Yeah, they that was the day of the glue shortage in the factory. Uh,
Oh,
well, that's it for this week, and yeah, hopefully next week we hear some really cool stuff from Apple, and we can get all Apple-y fanboy on it, and let all of the other fanboys, or hopefully soon to be fanboys and fangirls of Apple, if you aren't already, become one. So,
yeah.
do you want to let them know where they can find us?
You can find us all over the internet. We're on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Lunchtime Tech Talk. You can find us on Twitter at Lunchtime Tech T1. We have a website, lunchtimetechtalk.com, where you can browse show notes and listen to past episodes and see our link tree down the right hand side of the page. Um, those links will take you to several different media players, podcast players, whatever you want to call them. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean. It'll also take you, if you click in just the right spot, to our Patreon page where you can leave us $1 a month and say, hey, thanks, guys. We really like your show. And here's $1. You can find me not on Facebook, and especially you, Mike. Mike unfriended me yesterday. Can you guys believe this?
I did. I had enough of them.
He even sent me a screen recording of him doing it. What's the opposite of passive aggressive? Just aggressive aggressive?
I just assumed that it was a troll because there was no profile pic.
So I guess when you deactivate, because I didn't delete, because who knows, I might want it back, but I did deactivate again. Apparently when you deactivate, it looks like you're not a person.
Yeah.
So that's neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Weight Watchers, Snapchat. Where else?
Strava.
I don't know. If Strava, Zwift, even though I don't Zwift anymore. If there's a place that you're at and you're like, hey, I wonder if Chad's on here, just search MSU Mac, MSU MACC. Chances are I'm there.
Yeah.
Now, how active I am, who knows?
Right.
But anyway,
that's why you got off of Facebook, because you weren't MSU Mac. You were actually your real name.
I know. How weird is that? Nobody wants to talk to Chad Blakey. They want to talk to MSU Mac.
Well, you can find me at runbikemike.com. All of my social media links are in the top banner. I did want to address one thing real quick before we go. I have been talking with Podbean about our YouTube stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried what they asked me to do to double check some stuff. And I am a semi-busy person with family and friends and other things besides talking with Podbean about YouTube. And I took probably no more than 36 hours in between our conversation and didn't get back with them. And then they closed the ticket.
Holy cow.
So, yeah, they should be leaving those things open for at least a week for a normal human to be able to, do normal stuff in life. But that's kind of my big complaint right now with Podbean is their YouTube connectivity is not reliable. And it hasn't been since we started the podcast. So I'm going to keep working on it. And hopefully I can get all the episodes that we have missing back up on YouTube and all the current ones. I'm going to email them again with a screenshot today showing what it's saying when it is not working and go from there. But other than that, we will talk to you guys next week and hopefully have a lot of fun Apple news.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.